generosity feel effortless to him.
Oh, okay. Ladies, so we're going to help you attract provider energy men and really teach you how to activate that generosity from him without coming across like you are doing it. Now, this is a great skill set and a great thing for you ladies to be aware of when you're dating and even when you're married. If you want a man that spoils you, that marries you, that shows up consistently for you, then you are definitely in the right place.
Yeah, and I'm excited to talk about this topic tonight. Help you ladies understand, and we see it so often with the dating profiles. We see it often just in conversation with ladies and the men that are pursuing them. So excited to help out and share with the ladies the man's perspective on how to make it feel effortless for them.
Because we teach you stuff that men don't want you to know.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is your superpower as a lady. So you can really activate that chase mode so that you can really feel provided for and taken care of and all of that. And of course, if you are new here, welcome. I'm Natasha. I was a struggling single mama. 4 kids. Yes, I dated with 4 little kids, attracting my amazing provider husband, the most amazing dad who's like literally been running around all day, taking
Exactly.
care of business, doing so much. And he's just like, right before we came on the live, I'm just like, honey, you're just so
Yeah,
amazing.
thank
I
you.
love you so
Thank
much.
you.
But we got to help the ladies.
Yes, yeah. And I'm Coach B, of course, former lifelong bachelor
Aw.
who married my beautiful wife, and definitely going to help you ladies with the man's perspective and to kind of give you ladies some secrets as well that most men won't tell you because it'll hurt their pursuit of a situationship with you.
That's real talk. Okay, so we are going to break it down into 3 points. You do not want to miss these points, ladies.
Yes.
And this has not only worked for me, because sometimes people are like, oh, it's pretty privileged, Tosh. It's just because of you. No,
Mhm.
this is the ladies that we coach. This is fresh. Okay. So even this week, we are coaching women in our Feminine Energy Academy, and you should hear the stories that these
Yes.
women are coming up with. They did everything that we teach them. They have men literally dating phase, okay? They have men paying their bills, flying out to see them, giving them money, moving them, ring shopping
Yes.
right now, getting engaged, getting married, doing whatever it is they need to do to get these women. And these women are not sleeping with these
Yeah.
guys. They are actually intentionally dating for marriage. So the men that are super generous and in their provider energy with these women are pursuing them for the purpose of marriage. These are not
Yeah.
situationships.
And that's
Yeah.
what I love about it because these are ladies
Yeah.
that came in
Yes.
situationships, in relationships that weren't going anywhere.
Hmm.
And now they've been able to use the tools and the information that we've given them to change it and shift it
Yeah.
without even manipulating these men,
Yeah.
just being honest with these men and just being most importantly in their feminine energy. So you,
Yes.
you ready to jump in?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited right now because I just believe you deserve this,
Yeah.
ladies. Okay, so number 1 point, and okay, number 1 point, we're going to get to it, but I just want to shout out, I think it's True Flow. She just wanted to say how much she appreciates us and she loves the energy. So
Nice.
thank you for that. We receive it.
Yes.
Okay, so number 1 point, ladies, mindset shift here. Okay, in order to really activate that provider energy from him, he needs to feel like you are a good investment, because we're talking about healthy provider type men.
Yeah.
Healthy provider type men are men that are
Yeah.
calculated with their investment. And Coach B, I know you're going to talk about this in
Yeah.
a second. You've talked about this before on the channel, where he needs to know he's going to get a return on his
Yes.
investment, not in a transactional way, not in a sexual way, but he wants to feel proud
Yes.
that he is investing into you in the sense of with his time, with his energy, and with his finances
Yes.
and resources. And the one thing that I just want to mention before you jump into this, uh, one of the biggest mindset shifts you have to have, ladies, is know that men's natural state, the divine masculine's natural state, is to provide. Just look at God. God is our head, God is our divine masculine. We're made in his image. The man's natural state is to provide
Yes.
for you. And that should help you because sometimes women think, I don't know if men can do it because of this economy. I don't
Mm.
know if men want to do it for me because I'm a single mom. I don't know, because I'm divorced, because I got a couple of baby daddies. No, this is a man's natural state. He's going to feel the best when he's providing for you. So when you are embodied in that energy, that men love
Mm.
to provide for me, and they're going to get a really high return on their investment when they
Yes.
invest into me, you're going to show up with completely different energy with the men.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even when you're talking about
Yeah.
investing in a woman from a man's perspective, investing in a woman doesn't mean, okay, bring me your business plan. I'll go ahead and, I'll front it financially. No,
Yes.
he's investing his time, his energy, his resources so he can see if you're worth his time, energy, and resources moving forward.
Mhm.
So he's gonna put a little bit in it. Just think about the stock market. You don't just throw $100,000 in there. It's like, no, you put a little in here, you put a little in here. Now, when you see one starting to go up, or
Mhm,
when you
mhm.
see, good news that's, about that stock, now you're going to invest more. So women rotationally date. Of course, men have rosters, but men date multiple women as well. And he'll give you some investment initially,
Mhm.
but once he figures out that you're the one that, you act like a woman, you're fun to be around, you're just someone that he enjoys your presence, you make him feel good, he
Mhm.
feels comfortable bringing you in certain environments. Now he'll really start investing in you, because this is, like you said, what we naturally want to do. But a lot of times men are hesitant because it's like, okay, they've been burned, they don't want to go too quickly and invest, and this isn't the right investment. But once he sees that you're the right investment, like I always say, he'll do whatever, including financial. He'll do whatever is needed. He'll build you a house. He'll fly you to him. He'll move
Yeah.
you to his state. He'll move
Mhm.
you to another country. He'll do what I did,
Mhm.
which is move to the country and then
Yes.
move out of the
Yeah.
country, then move back to the country with you
And
and your
four
kids.
and four
So,
kids.
so trust me, when a man
Yeah.
knows that you're a good investment, because we're always reading, we're always checking up to see, okay, is this a good investment? Is this a good investment? But once we understand that
Mhm.
this is it right here, the generosity is through the roof. It's not something that you have to try to conjure up. He's going to want to do it because of your soft energy. You're
Mhm.
fun to be around. You make him feel good in your presence. And when he's not in your presence, he's always thinking about
This is so good.
you.
And at the end of this, we will get to your questions, and I'm also going to tell you exactly how to attract these types of men. So
Mm,
stay tuned. Okay.
yes.
So, number two thing that is so important, the number two point, when you really want to activate that generosity and make it feel effortless to
Mm.
him, is this is kind of a don't do this point. Okay. Do not. Do not make it
Yes.
transactional. So I see this a lot with the women I coach when they do exactly what I teach them to do and then they start attracting men.
Mm,
This always happens like literally 100% of the time in my experience coaching women. And then they're not used to that. A lot of times they're not used to that. And because they're the nice girls, we attract the sweet, God-loving women that are just such good people and they're used to being the overgiver. So when the everything has changed, the energy has shifted because they've done what we told them to do,
yes.
and they start attracting men that are buying things for
Yes.
them and like spending all this money on them. What often happens is they feel like they need to give him
Yes.
something. They're always messaging me, should I buy this for him? Should I get this for him? Or sometimes women are like, they feel like they need to sleep with him, right? To show him
Mm,
that, they're grateful for, him paying your bills.
yeah.
Don't do that, ladies. Okay. Because we want you to keep polarity with the man. And when you're transactional, you're going to kill that polarity.
Mm,
Allow him to feel like a man, be appreciative, and do some of the stuff that we're going to teach you in a second. But really, what he's getting from it is being in your feminine
yes.
energy, that emotional reward. That's what he's going to get. Remember, we were saying that men are wired to feel need up like a Christmas tree. That's the win that he
Mm.
gets when he does stuff for you. So don't go feeling like, if he buys you food, you need to go buy him food, or if he buys you a gift, now you need to buy him a gift, or he buys you something and now you need to sleep with him, because you're going to take him out of that chasing energy if you do that.
Yeah. And it's really understanding what transactional looks like for
Yes.
women from a man's perspective, because it could look similar in the sense of,
Hmm.
okay, he's buying you stuff and he really wants to be with you. But also, he can just, because men don't have a problem being generous
Right.
as long as they feel they're getting something back for their investment.
Right.
So if it can be transactional where, okay, he gives you money or he buys stuff for you, but it ends up in the bedroom. And if you don't do that, then he won't do that for you. But you'll know if it's a man who's really after you, because you'll have his heart as well. You'll have his energy. You'll
Hmm.
have his time. You won't get the time and energy of a guy who's just in a transactional relationship that's a selfish, okay, I need to get something back from you right now. Whereas men that are healthy are going to invest. So I'm going to
Hmm.
invest in you because I know in the long run, not that I'm going to get money back, but I'm going to get a wife back. So if I see that you're a wife, you have wife potential, I'm going to invest in you. I'm going to invest my time, my energy, potentially my resources, because what I'm looking for is a wife.
Hmm.
I'm not looking for a partner just to have sex with. I'm not just looking for someone
Yeah.
to have a texting conversation. So it looks similar because
Hmm.
both will buy you stuff, both will do things for you, but you'll know the difference because a healthy masculine energy man will give you his time, his energy, his resources. When you call him or when he calls you, he'll want to talk. It won't be just one of those conversations like, "What are you doing? Where you
Hmm.
at? I was just thinking about you." No, that's a transactional relationship. That's
Hmm.
selfish. Someone who may not be in their healthy masculine energy, but a healthy masculine energy man is going to want to talk to you, see you, invest, and spend time in you. And it's going to be such a contrast in those styles. It's going to be super easy to see because what happens sometimes, women, they'll say, okay, he's doing this, he's doing that for
Hmm.
me. He must be into me. That's not necessarily the case.
Hmm.
You have to look for those traits to know if he's into you or if he's looking for a situationship.
Yeah, and provider energy doesn't always just mean financial, right? Like
Mhm.
we've talked about this so many times on this channel and in the Feminine Energy Academy, where it's how he's showing up for you. It's his time. And a lot of times women think, oh, he's busy, he's this. You're
Mm.
making all these excuses for him. You need to seriously jump in the FEA and listen to some of the stories of the
Yes.
women on our coaching calls, where just as an example, they're attracting these provider men. This one lady just met him from a different country a few weeks ago. He flew up to see her just to take her on a date,
Yep.
and then is already flying back to her to go take her on another
Yeah.
date in another country. This is the stories we hear all of the
Mm.
time, and it's not transactional. This is
Mm.
how men are wired. They are the sperm. They want to chase you. Okay, ladies? So, and what they're getting from it is, this is the key here, ladies. It's how he feels in your presence.
Mhm.
It's how a man feels in your presence. It's not how smart you are. It's not, how much you know or anything like that. No, it's how he feels
Yes.
in your presence. And that's something that we really
Yes.
teach our ladies, of course, because that's an embodiment,
Mhm.
in the Feminine Energy Academy. But
Yes.
anyway, let's go to number 3. This is a huge one that I teach the ladies, okay? To activate his generous energy is, I want you to exchange expectation
Mm.
for appreciation.
Yes.
This is just a great life
Yes.
principle,
So
period.
true.
So you want to exchange that expectation for appreciation. The food for the masculine is
Yes.
appreciation. And that is you as a woman being so appreciative
Yes.
of the littlest things. A lot of women, and it's so easy to stand out
Mm.
nowadays in dating, ladies, in this day and age, ladies, because so many women walk around with this entitlement
Yeah.
energy. And we know this because we talk to men
Yes.
as well that are on the dating scene, provider type men, and they say this all the time, that these women have this entitlement
Yes.
energy. They want the five-star restaurant
Yes.
right away. And I mean, that's great if he wants to do that. But I'm a big proponent on, be appreciative for the
Mhm.
coffee date.
Yes.
Be appreciative for going for ice cream. Keep it simple, right? And be so grateful. And when you are the type of woman, trust me, ladies, when you're the type of woman that is so grateful for the littlest things that he does for you, he's going to want to do anything for
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. And so many times when women are meeting these men, they're going out on dates with
Mm-hmm.
them. The one thing that happens is they feel disappointed. Okay, we went
Mm.
out, I don't know how it was. And the reason a lot of times is because their expectation was something they saw on TV.
Yeah.
It was something they saw on YouTube. Some people just telling them, okay, he bought me this Louis purse and we just met, or, it's going to take
Yes.
$500 just to even get my phone number.
Yes.
Those type of expectations
Oh my
is
goodness.
what a lot of women have because that's what they've seen. And the reality is, this isn't happening for 99.9% of women.
Yeah.
That's not happening. But going into it with, you know, I'm just excited. We talked on the phone, we did a FaceTime. I'm excited to get a chance to meet someone, to learn about them, to learn about myself,
Mhm.
how I'm responding. That mindset shift changes everything as you go in because now you're having fun. Now you're enjoying
Mhm.
yourself. It doesn't take much. You're not depending on him to bring the fun or
Mhm.
for him to make it feel special.
Yeah.
No, you feel special already because you're out and you're enjoying yourself. You're just out enjoying life and he's there with you. And having that approach makes a man want to be around you. And
Mhm.
trust me, I know men that are making 6, 7 figures that don't come across that way, especially when going out
Yeah.
on dates. It's like they're going out on dates. And this is a funny story. This is my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law, he's doing well, and he told me one time that, he was a single guy for years, 10, 15, 20 years, lived in an apartment, paid about $800 a month. But he told me about as he goes out to eat, even now to this day, where he went to this taco place. They had dollar tacos.
Yeah.
And one time he went there and they went up to $1.25. He stopped eating there. So that lets me know that it's not about
Yeah.
where you go or how much money you spend to show that you're capable of providing. Most provider energy men come across real simple. So
Mhm.
the fact that they're taking you to a simple restaurant, they're doing something simple with you, going for a walk, doesn't doesn't let you know what this guy has or where
Yes.
what he stays, what he drives. That doesn't matter to most
Yes.
healthy guys. So that's why having fun opens you up to potentially get found by the right man.
Mhm.
And you want this man not to be all, out and showing off, because if he's like that, he's going to be the type of man when you're with him, it's going to be about him. He
Mhm.
needs attention. He needs for you
Mhm.
to tell him how good he looks. He needs more than appreciation. He needs for you to be in love with his looks. And that's not what you want if you're
Yes.
looking for a healthy masculine energy man.
Well, and that brings me to the point about ladies. The reason why the women that we coach are attracting provider energy men
Mhm.
that are serious about marriage is because we teach them how to choose
Mm.
men. This is why we tell you, ladies, open yourself up to date online.
Yeah.
But you don't want to just date online. You want to have strategy, and it's about your energetics because you will attract your match. It's not what you want. It's not what you're praying for. It's you will attract your energetic match. And so today I actually did a free workshop where I went through all the steps on how to attract a provider type man online. I teach you what dating apps to use. I teach you exactly what photos, exactly what to say in your dating profile. I teach you everything that you need to know, all the do's, all the don'ts, how to communicate, and how to actually date provider type men. So if you want access, you want to watch the replay, it's so fire. And the great thing about this workshop that I did live is that we have women on that call that have done the stuff that we teach that already got the receipts.
Mm.
Okay, so you can show, you can see proof. These are women just like you. These are women from across the globe. We have women from Canada, from the US, all over Europe,
Yeah.
and Africa. Those are our main ladies, the Caribbean
Yeah.
as well. And they are attracting provider type men.
Yeah.
But they were not doing that before. They were not attracting provider energy men before. They're doing it now because they've completely changed everything
Yes.
that they do in their approach with online dating. So
Yes.
anyway, we have a free trial. You can click the link below and you can get access to that. Plus, if you want to send us your dating profile and get our feedback, then you can let us know and we
Yes.
will help you with that as
And
well.
there's so many good
Yeah.
questions. Are you ready to jump into the questions or
Yeah. Let's do it if you
let's
have some.
yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the questions. We have one that said, "What if he proposed to you 1 year into the relationship?" So really with that question,
Yeah.
it's so many layers to unfold with that. But one thing we always talk about is when you're in a relationship, for one, it needs to be established. He needs to ask you to be exclusive. It's not something you're going to him or you're wondering, what are we? And then out of nowhere, he proposes to you. No, it's a certain way to go about it to position yourself for when he wants to ask you that question. But
Yeah.
if you're in a 1 year relationship, everything, let's just say everything has gone well up to that point. You have your non negotiables, you have your boundaries, all of that is good. And he proposes to you after 1 year. That's right at the cusp of
Yeah.
when men usually
Mhm.
propose to you. I'll say within 6 to 12 months, men will propose to you, want to get married to you within the first, I mean, after that, maybe a short engagement, 6 months or so,
Yeah.
he'll be ready to marry you. So that's nothing wrong with that at all. Unless there are some details with what most healthy masculine energy men do.
Yeah, I mean that's completely normal, but the biggest thing for you is that you got to look at who you're calling in, and does this person match the type of husband
Yeah.
and father or future father for your kids? That's the biggest thing. And shout out to Leslie. I see you, girl. I don't know if it's Leslie or Sierra on there, but hey, what's up? We see
Ah.
you. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And so many. I want to scan through them because I didn't get a chance to look at it. Okay, Khadija. Khadijah's
Ooh,
in the
yes.
feminine
Yeah,
energy
Khadijah's
academy.
in our Feminine Energy Academy.
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
She said, I'm glad to know men are attracted to men, but can you share why some men are in their feminine energy and
Hmm.
expect women to pursue them?
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if they are only into women.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you want?
yeah,
Yeah, go for it, babe.
and the thing is too, like a lot of times in these situations, it's not about him. Okay, is he, bi? Is he anything like that? That's not a natural, the opposite of, being wanting to be with you isn't that he's bi, but a lot of men grow up in households where single moms are
Yep.
there, and we talk about it often where growing up with a single mom, they tend to feminize the
Yep.
man in certain areas. Not that they're feminine, just, or going both ways or anything like that, but it's some areas in which the femininity stands out because they were raised by their mom, and their mom, in most cases, wants to make sure everything is good for them. It could be the mom guilt, it could be whatever the case is, but they'll start, washing their clothes, they'll, cook for them. And some of these men are 18, 19, 20, 25 years old and are still taking their clothes to their mother's house. And it's not because, they
Yeah.
don't like women, but this is how they grew up. This is what they know. They didn't have that strong masculine energy presence. They didn't have those
Hmm.
coaches in their life that just told them, straight up, this is how it
Yeah.
is. So this is just a product of that. And it's understanding for you, if these are the type of men you're attracting,
Hmm.
then it's something on the inside of you that may need to be addressed because you're only attracting that which is on the inside of you. You're attracting what you mirror. But
Hmm.
if you're attracting them, this is not what you want, then you just continue to move on. Once you see these signs, okay, I don't like this. This isn't what I need. This isn't what I want in a healthy man. Then you don't owe him anything. That's
Yeah.
why you rotationally date.
Yeah.
So move on, and if this is a continuous pattern, then it's something you need to address. But if it's a one off,
Hmm.
just move on, thank him for his time. Nothing gained, nothing lost.
And yeah, ladies, just because you attract them doesn't mean you need to date them. And just because you date them doesn't mean you need to marry them, right? You're just collecting data.
Yeah.
So go through, especially that masterclass that I did today, go through that again. Or if you missed it, go through that. It's going to help you so much attract provider type men.
Yes.
And ladies, as you heal, this is why healing is so important. If you don't heal, you're going to get attached to the wrong
Yeah.
men. I need you to hear this, ladies. Until you heal your nervous system and you're regulated in your nervous system, you're going to get attached to the wrong men. Your type is your trauma. That's who you're going to find attractive. And those are the guys, if you're in the pattern of attracting men that are in their feminine energy, meaning they're in the receiving energy. Feminine energy is receiving energy. Just think of the woman's, body and the man's body. The man is the giver, the output,
Yep.
and the woman is the receiver, right? This is how God's designed it. We're not trying to be weird. This is how God has designed things. So a man that's in his receivership is, in his wounded energy. And if you're in your masculine energy, then you're going to be attracting these types of guys. And even if you're attracting these types of guys, you don't have to date them. Like, as soon as you notice that this guy is into himself, he's not into his provider energy,
Mm,
then just move on. And once again, I cannot reiterate this enough. Provider energy men typically do not look like the type of guys that you date. If you are used to choosing men based on physical looks, like you're swiping, you're like, "Ooh, he's hot. Ooh,
right.
he's hot. Ooh, I like him. He looks tall.
Exactly.
Ooh, look at those abs. Ooh." If that's how you're choosing men to date, you are in your masculine
Mm,
energy as a woman. You are basically a man. Okay? Because that's what men do. They swipe like, she's hot, she's
yeah.
cute. Oh, she's cute. Yeah. That's how men. So if you're doing that, you're a man. You're acting like a man. And I'm not saying this is not Khadijah, who's in our Feminine Energy Academy, because she knows, but I'm talking to the other people that are new to our channel. So, of course, this is why I teach you how to choose men on the dating apps
Mm,
so that you can attract the provider type men
mm.
that want to spoil the crap out of you and want to marry you. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I'll go to Shabi, who's in our Feminine Energy
Yes.
Academy. She says she left a message for us, a question
Yeah.
that I'm going to go ahead and share right here for us. She said, a male coworker at my job today told me that I look expensive or that I look like I have expensive taste
Mm-hmm.
or I'm high maintenance
Mm-hmm. Love
and that
it.
men look at that type of stuff when choosing a woman. Should
Mm-hmm.
I even want to look in that direction of someone that thinks that way? And the thing is, men go through all that in their mind. They're sizing you up. They're figuring
Mm-hmm.
out where to place you. Okay, is this a situationship? Is it someone I'm cool with? Is it someone who I can, just watch the game with? Is it someone that I could really pursue for marriage? Then we start asking the questions like, okay, how much does it take to be with this woman?
How much is it going to
Yes,
cost
how
me?
much is it going to cost? And not just money, but time,
Yeah.
energy. We think about all of that because we have our own life going on.
Mm-hmm.
We have our own schedule. We know what we're willing to give, and we want to make sure that it's a fit. So if you're someone who's always made up, taking care of yourself, that's a great thing, and you're going to attract the right type of
Mm-hmm.
man. Just because he's asking that questions internally
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that he's not the man for you. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if he's saying it to you in a way where he sounds unsure about himself, or he sounds like, you're too much for me, the fact that he even brought it up to you lets me know that he's really at a place where it's like, I don't know if I can do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's no problem. You don't want to make a decision based on someone who doesn't fit your love list. You want to make decisions based on that which you're trying to attract. And the reality of it is, just like we try to get jobs, just like we, apply for jobs, we, apply for different things, we understand that we have to be the match for it. So just continue to be the match for the man
Yeah.
that you desire, and he's going to come your way. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
else doesn't matter. Just like I
Correct.
tell all the kids coaching sports, you only can go to one school. I don't care how many scholarship offers you get. The same in dating. I don't care how many men tell you how good you look, how many men swipe right or left, whatever it is. I don't care how many men come your way. You're just looking to attract that one right man, and all is well once you do that. So don't worry or
Yeah.
change based on what guys that you don't desire to be with are saying.
Yeah, it really depends how he's saying that. If he's
Hmm.
like, "Oh, you look expensive," okay, then maybe that's a good thing. But if he's like, "Oh, you look expensive,"
Yeah.
okay, keep moving, bro. Right? And just like, don't feel bad for taking care of how you look. Like, this is what we teach our women to do: is take care of you look.
Yeah.
Trust, anytime I left the house, I'm put together
Mm.
because that's the energy that I'm in and that I was in,
Yes.
even as a single mom with 4 kids, because I didn't want to look like the burnt out woman
Hmm.
and single mom that looks like life has beat the crap out of her and she's given up and all she does is take care of her kids, and she's like overweight and she looks burnt out and her hair is always up
Yeah.
and she just, nails are chipped and, all of this stuff. I'm like, I am not
Yeah.
being that mom. at all. So don't be apologizing for taking care of yourself.
Not at all.
You will attract the right man
Yeah.
because us ladies, make the man look good.
Mm.
So a man that is ready to marry you, that is in his provider, generous energy,
Yes.
is going to be looking for a woman that is put together.
Yes.
And I know you've talked about this so
Yes.
much, but
Yes.
he has to be ready to marry you. Yeah.
Amen. We're looking at everything, like you said,
Yes.
from chipped toenails to
Yeah.
everything. We
Hmm.
love to see a woman that takes care of herself. We're not looking for potential. We know that it's always more potential and it's more that can be of it, but we're looking for a wife that's ready made already, not a potential wife. So do all that you need to do to show that you're ready and not holding back, saying, okay, I want to widen my pool, so I'm not going to go all out. No, go all out because you can attract that man today,
Hmm.
and you don't want to miss out on that opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was a really, really good question.
So a follow up from Khadijah, she says, "Yeah, it happened only a couple of times, and I cut it off quick.
Hmm.
Once I noticed our energies didn't align.
Yeah.
I attract masculine energy men too. I use my love list
Hmm.
when determining who to give my time to."
Perfect.
And that's so good. She talked about her love list. And can
Hmm.
you go a little into? I know
Yeah.
we have so many ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy who come in and say, okay, I don't like this type of guy,
Hmm.
this type of guy who's this tall, bald head,
Yeah. Yeah.
all of this. But over time, as they start to heal,
Yeah.
as they start to put together their love list, their negotiables and non negotiables, can you share just
Yeah.
one of the testimonies that we even heard today?
Yeah, and this is actually a really good example. So the ladies that come to us that we coach, we help them with all this. So getting their love list together, really getting that energetic clarity on your non-negotiables and your nice to haves when it
Yeah.
comes to who you're going to date. Now, here's the important thing. That list you can modify as you're dating.
Mm.
And I was talking to the ladies about this today on that in that workshop where this is why it's so important that you're actually dating men, that you don't just have a list and then you're not dating. Because what will happen is as you're dating,
Yeah.
you're going to realize, perfect example today, one of the ladies attracting provider men. All the women that we coach attract provider men, by the way. Okay. That's not the issue. But there's different types of provider men.
Yes.
There's some provider men that are
Yes.
so busy with work that they aren't ever home, right? Because they're hardworking guys. They're providing for the
Yes.
ladies, but they're just never there. So I was telling her that you need to modify that list
Yeah.
as so that you can call in. So I teach you to energetically call in the exact type of man that you want and the
Mm.
exact type of provider energy that you want. So, but the thing is, you need to have some sort of clarity
Yes.
on what it is you're calling in. Because if your energy is wobbly as the woman, meaning you're like, I kind of want this. I don't know if I want to get married. I like this, but I also like that. Your energy is kind of all over the place, or you're in like situationships and stuff like that. You're going to attract men that are also all over the place
Mm.
because they will mirror your energy. So you need to have clean energy. When you're attracting these types of guys, you need to have clean energy, healed your love blocks. You are the reciprocal match for
Yes.
provider energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's so true. And to that point, I know we had a few comments in here from the men.
Yes.
One of the comments, a man said, and I'm going to respond to this
Yeah,
person.
yeah, yeah.
And the reality all men don't.
Yeah.
But all men aren't in their healthy masculine energy. So men that like to be chased are men that for the most part are in situationships, men that aren't really looking to lead, provide, protect, and be there for you in that way. And that's no issue. It's no issue because everyone's at a different place in their life and people make decisions based on the experiences they've had up to that point. So men that want to be chased and don't like chasing, because it's either that you want to be chased or you want to chase. It's
Mhm.
nothing in between. No one's just floating.
Mhm.
So men that like being chased are usually men that, it's a lot about them.
Mhm.
They like attention. It's like, okay, show me that you
Yeah.
want to be with me. You usually have to take care of those men
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, including financially, because they're the ones that are, okay, I'm the one to have. You got
Mhm.
to come get me. You got to chase me down because I have all these women after me. And it's the same. I mean, it could be similar with a healthy masculine energy man in a sense of a lot of women can be after him, but he that doesn't do anything for him. When a bunch of women are telling him how good he looks and how nice his smile is, I love your hair, that doesn't matter to a healthy masculine energy man. It's about what he desires, what he wants. An unhealthy man who's in his feminine pretty much takes whatever comes to him. And
Mm-hmm.
he'll take a lot more because it's like, okay, it's another opportunity, another situation. What can I get out of this? Now he gets all the way in his feminine in a way, and now he's just waiting back, and you have to do the chasing. So, depending on what you're looking for, we're not telling you what you need to be, who you need to be with, but if you're looking for a healthy masculine energy man and he doesn't want to chase you, and when I say chase, someone who's pursuing you,
Pursuing, yeah.
someone who shows you that he wants to be with you.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to chase you if you don't want to be with him. If you
If you're
let
playing
it be
games.
known, right? If you let it be known, or if you're playing around and aren't, giving him that energy to let him know that you like him as well, a healthy man's not going to chase you. He's going to let you be. But if
Yeah.
you're showing that you're interested, he's going to want to chase you so he can take you off the market, so he can marry you, so he can take care of you, so he can live happily ever after.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't have to believe us. Just look how God's created. Like, just look at the male physiology and the woman physiology. The sperm chases the egg. This is
Mm,
how God has hormonally, energetically,
yes,
physiologically created the masculine, is to come towards you.
yes,
So that's him. That's how he's wired.
yes.
So if you have a man that does not want to do any pursuing, right? He's in his feminine,
Yeah,
like just straight up, he's trying to be the egg. And typically, men that like to be chased by women, and correct me if I'm wrong, honey, but they were rejected a lot before. And a lot of times these guys, and I've seen them on the internet, where they have these glow ups,
yeah,
where they get jacked, and now they're just like loving, and
yeah,
they have YouTube channels on like how to get girls. And it's because they were rejected
yeah,
like their whole life. And
yeah,
then now they got muscle, and so now they're, but the thing that they don't realize is they're attracting women in their masculine energy.
yes,
Because exactly what we teach, a woman that chooses a man based on how, how attracted she is to him physically and his muscles and his
yeah,
six pack, those type of women are in their masculine
yeah,
energy, even if they look like a supermodel,
yeah,
because they're choosing him based on physical looks. And that's not how God has created it.
yeah,
Right. So now you have a woman that's maybe pretty in her masculine energy, and then a guy that's pretty but he's in his feminine,
yes.
and then they get used to women chasing them, so they don't want to actually be in their masculine mode.
And the
Yeah.
thing is, usually a healthy masculine energy man is so
Mm.
low key, so
Yeah.
chill, so like, okay, you can never tell. And a lot of times it's because for the most part, he's someone who may have gotten
Yeah.
attention for a while, like as a young person,
Yeah.
he's gotten attention most of his life. So it doesn't excite him
Hmm.
to get attention. Or he's not trying to get you back because, maybe he didn't get that girl that he wanted years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, you know
Yeah.
what? We understand as healthy masculine energy
Hmm.
men, you're going to strike out when you're talking to women 60, 70% of the time, right? If you're shooting your shot, most women aren't going to be the right type of woman for you. And we're okay with that as
Yeah.
healthy masculine energy men.
Hmm.
I've even heard some men say it's target practice for them, right?
Yeah.
Like they're just practicing, which
Yeah.
we
Well,
which we teach our women.
your nervous system is wired for that.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like target practice. You go in like, okay, let me try this out. Let me
Yeah.
try that out. Let me say this. If it works, great. If it doesn't, great. We'll move on. Now, we've been rejected so much in a sense of it didn't work out or that woman didn't want you. Now it's like, they don't, most healthy masculine energy men don't mind talking to anyone.
Hmm.
It's like, it's nothing that can hurt them in a sense of you rejecting them. So they're not overcompensating. It's not any type of hurt or anything like that. It's like, okay, this is a person I want to be with. Let me see if how this conversation goes. If it goes great, we can continue talking. If it doesn't, I'll just move on to the next. So
Hmm.
it's a distinct difference when you're talking about healthy masculine energy men and men that are in their feminine wombs because of
Yeah.
potentially what happened in the past.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, once again, men are hunters. They've evolved for millions of years to be hunters, right, ladies? So Their nervous systems are wired differently. They can handle rejection.
Right.
Okay, they can handle rejection. They're different than women. But men that can't handle that, they typically struggle in business and finances, and they struggle with women
Yes.
because they can't handle that,
Yeah. That's
right?
so
They're
true.
in their feelings.
That's so
Yeah.
true. And we had one person ask, "Should I give?" And I'm going to say this is for someone he's potentially looking to talk to. But with men, should I give her my number or should I take hers?
Ooh, good
And
question.
the thing is with that, I talk to the ladies about this all the time. I don't care how busy he is, or what's going on, if he has business cards. You can accept his business card, but you don't reach out to him. He
Hmm.
should be asking for your number. When can he call you?
Hmm.
Not take my number, give me a call when you get a moment. No, that's putting you in the seat where you
Yeah.
have to chase him. You have to see when he's available, all of this. No, you can accept his card, but again, the only time you're going to use his card is to check the phone number when he calls to see if it's the same
Yeah.
person. But you shouldn't be reaching out to him first. He should be asking for your number, should ask you when is a good time to talk. He wants to get to know you. Go about it that way. Because I also saw
Hmm.
someone saying being a traditional woman is also, being able to abstain from sex,
Yeah.
doing things the right way. So if we want to do things the right way, the traditional way, I'll say, it's not necessarily right or wrong, but the way that we've seen to work,
Hmm.
then you want to allow him to pursue you and not you trying to call him and see when he's available to meet up.
Yeah, exactly. So Cassandra asks, how can you tell if a man is in his feelings? This is a great question for you, honey. You love talking about this. He's
ah,
teaching our boys this right
yes,
now a
yes.
lot.
Well, well, it's easy to tell if a man is in his feeling. First, the automatic response when he hears or sees something.
Hmm.
You can't hold that back. Whatever's on the inside of you is going to come out in that moment.
Hmm.
So in that moment, and this is just a different type of sign, but if it's that, high pitched voice or, that uncontrollable, I just need to say it
Trigger.
without thinking, because now you're triggered, you're in your feelings.
Hmm.
Most healthy masculine energy men take a deep breath. They don't respond right away. They think about their response. They think about the consequences of their decision instead of just responding right away. Because we see it so many times. I've seen it growing up as well. Most guys, and this is even guys in the streets, guys that are, tough guys, they've been raised by women only. And you can see that they're in their feminine in a lot of areas and they're triggered quickly. Men that are triggered quickly make a move, then they think about it later. So
Hmm.
they'll do whatever it is. They'll get into a fight, they'll curse you out, they'll do something that's irreversible. Now they're sitting there holding it back, thinking about what did I do? But a healthy masculine energy man, he won't get in. You'll know he's not into his feelings because he's taking a deep breath. And not only talking low and calm, but he's looking for a resolution. He's
Mm.
not just talking to get his point across or to
Hmm.
make you feel bad. So it's easy to see when a man is in his feelings, when he's not thinking straight, when he's all over the place in his response, when he's just talking around, when he's not taking accountability. He's in his feelings because he doesn't want to talk about exactly what happened. He wants to go around the reasoning that it happened and give his, this is my thought on it. No. Accountability is okay with the truth, even if it hurts. And he's going to be calm in most situations.
Yeah, 1000%. Just, if he's triggered and just has a quick reaction,
Yeah.
that's a great sign that he's in his feelings.
Yes.
Or if he doesn't feel safe in his own feelings, he will shut down.
Mm.
He'll completely shut down. And that's different than having space. Like sometimes men need
Yeah.
space to cool off, to gather their
Yep.
thoughts, to think about a situation, and then
Yep.
they'll come back and then like you said that they'll want to resolve the problem.
Yeah.
But a man that is doesn't have that emotional mastery, he's either going to be triggered and going back and forth with you.
Yeah.
A healthy, stable masculine energy man is not going to have a yelling match with you
Mm-mm.
ever. He will walk away. Or sometimes they will completely shut down and then they're
Yep.
avoidant
Yep.
because I mean that's the definition of that avoidant attachment style is you don't feel safe with your own emotions, so you just completely shut down. And women do this as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so and it's so important to be able to identify this because a
Yeah.
triggered man, it's really no ends to what where things can
Oh,
go. Because
yeah.
men, understanding men are stronger in nature, just
Yes.
how we're built, how we're made. So it's so important to get a healthy masculine energy man who has self-control.
Mm-hmm.
Without self-control, anything is possible,
Mm-hmm.
good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
And you won't feel safe in his presence because you'll be walking on eggshells, having conversations, because
Mm-hmm.
once he gets to that point, it's no turning back. You're not strong enough to defend yourself, and
Yes.
he's willing to take it potentially anywhere. Because at that point, when he's triggered and out of control or doesn't have control, he'll do things that that he'll look back and regret and say I didn't mean it. And you'll find yourself in these relationships, in these cycles where he's triggered, he does something, he apologizes, and then it's a repeat. So
Mm-hmm.
you want to be able to identify it before moving forward. I don't care how nice of a person he is,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how much of a provider he is. This is something that can be life changing potentially if you get with a man that is unhealed in that area.
Like, ladies, one of the biggest signs that you're dating a provider, healthy, healed, masculine energy man is how he deals with problems.
Mm,
That's probably one of the biggest
yes.
things, how he deals with his own life problems
Yes.
and how he deals with your problems. Because a man that is healthy and healed and is masculine is going to be looking for solutions
Yes.
and he's going to be calm. He might feel upset.
Yes.
Right? He might feel upset in the moment. He still feels things. He's still a
Yes.
human, right? They're not robots, but it's how he handles that emotion. That's how he feels, how he handles that situation will tell you if you're
Yes.
dealing with a healthy man or a man that, isn't mature and
Yes.
isn't emotionally available or emotionally mature.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was one of the things that I was so attracted to with my husband when picking a husband to, like, a man to marry,
Yes.
is so stable, so consistent. No matter
Hmm.
what I was dealing with as a single mom with
Yeah.
4 kids, or what he was dealing with business and
Yeah.
teams and all that stuff, it didn't matter. He was so calm and stable
Yes.
and solution orientated the
Yes.
whole time.
And
Yeah.
one thing as well, he's not going to be the type, a healthy masculine energy man is not going to be the type that's going to want to vent to you. Like, okay, I just
Mhm.
got to tell you all of this. Like he's not going to sit you down and, just, I need to get stuff off my chest now. As we're married, we talk about things, but I'm not sitting around venting to her like,
Yeah.
man, I had such a long day. This happened, then that happened. I just, I need somebody to feel me and somebody to understand. No, we're not, that's not how we're wired. We don't feel comfortable doing that. We may get with the guys and talk and,
Yeah.
say some things like, man, today was tough. We'll have those type of conversations, but we're not venting we don't need a shoulder to lean on because we had a tough day.
Mhm.
We have outlets and ways to go about it. But if you find yourself with a man who's always bringing his problems to you, always telling you like,
Mm.
I'm just waiting on this to happen, man, that job didn't come through, man, that the deal didn't close, he's saying it in a way where it's just like he's discouraged. Just like, why is this happening to me? Woe is me.
Mhm.
Because, nothing happens his way. Those aren't the type of guys. Those are the type of guys who are in their feelings. Those are the type of guys that potentially can get triggered because it's a buildup
Mhm.
of things not working out. And now, it's like I have to release it somewhere. And you don't want to be around during that time.
Yeah, I mean, he might do that once in a while,
Yeah.
but exactly what you're saying. If he's always coming
Yeah.
to you with his problems and you're a fixer because you're used to being a fixer, you fix
Mm,
everyone's problems, you're the caregiver.
yes.
Ladies, I know that nice girl energy, you're going to be the perfect match to that type
Mm,
of guy. So, this is why we got to switch your energy, ladies. So, you're not the fixer, so
mm,
you're not the caregiver, so you're not the provider, so that you can learn how to lean back in your feminine and attract a man that loves to provide for
yes.
you.
Yes.
Okay. So, once again, if you need help with this, ladies, you want to shift your energy, you want to, get our help with the whole attracting men online, offline, how to date these guys, how to shift your energy, then I encourage you to jump in the FEA. We will leave the link below.
Yes.
It's free for you to try. You can also watch the masterclass that I did today, where it's the entire feminine attraction formula online edition for your dating profile, for long distance dating, for attracting provider type men.
Yes.
Yes.
And shout out, it looks like someone's checking in from England at
Ooh.
4 a.m.
we have a lot of Europeans, which I love, in the Feminine Energy Academy, and two ladies that I know personally have married
Mm.
really great quality UK men that are in their
Yeah.
provider energy.
Yeah.
So anytime anyone comes on here and like, oh, there's no good men in UK, not true at all. I'm seeing it myself with ladies that are now married
Right.
to
Right.
provider men. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So Cassandra, she's not in the Feminine Energy Academy, but she says, I need to shift my energy.
Yes, that is the greatest investment you could possibly make as a woman. That's where I tell the ladies that's 95% of this whole dating journey that you're on is
Hmm.
your energy.
Yeah.
5-10% is the strategy. And I'm really, really good at the strategy. Dating profiles, attracting men that are, are in their provider energy, how to communicate with the man. Those are really, really important skills that you need to have as a woman for the dating phase and the marriage phase, by the way. Okay. But even if I gave you the perfect strategy and
Yeah.
formula, if your energy is all over the
Yeah.
place, meaning you got love blocks, you got man wounds from the last guy that hurt you, or from daddy, or from religion, right? All of these things will show
Yeah.
up and your nervous system will be
Yeah.
dysregulated. You will feel anxious and stressed. You'll be in your pick me energy, or you'll completely avoid dating altogether. Okay. And I know this because we've coached over 1,000 women
Yes.
up to this point just in the last year. Okay. And we have gotten amazing results with our ladies.
Yes.
Every single day, we're getting messages from our
Yes.
ladies
Every day.
in the Feminine Energy Academy and private messages from them in there where they're just like the men are just showing up for
Yes.
them. And it's because they shifted their energy and they skilled up. It's so easy to stand out nowadays, ladies. It's
Yeah.
so easy.
And we've had so
Yeah.
many ladies as well that let us know that they've binge watched our YouTube
Yeah.
videos, but it's so much different when they jump in there.
Yeah.
Like as great as this information is, because mainly what we do on here is we bring awareness.
Right.
We bring it up and we give you that aha moment.
Yeah.
But to go so much deeper within the
Yeah.
Feminine
The how
Energy
to.
Academy, yeah, on the how to,
Hmm.
because it's one thing to say, okay, just give me the answers.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What's the answer?
Hmm.
I'm used to just, working stuff out. Once you give me the answer, I'll make it happen. And the reality is that's more off of your willpower.
Hmm.
Right. So it might work for a couple of weeks, couple of months, but until you embody it, it won't be who you are. It won't be
Right.
your new identity. It'll be something that it'll be like, okay, I did it. It worked. Now I'm coming back because I got this situation, because you didn't really change. You just decided for a moment, I'm going to try something different. But you didn't change your mind. It wasn't one of those repentant moments where, you know what? I did it wrong. I'm sorry. Now I'm doing things different. It was one of those like I did it wrong. Okay, I'm just going to do it different. I'm not going to take any accountability or
Hmm.
anything. So the big part is when the ladies start taking that accountability and
Yes.
they see it when they start listening to those audios and really seeing those blind spots
Yeah.
that we don't talk about on here.
Yeah, the ladies that really get the results are the ladies that have been with us for a few months.
Yeah.
They're not the ladies that just pop in and out. And it's because there's different levels of coaching that you need when you're in there. First of all, attracting men is easy.
Mm.
It's keeping them. It's keeping the man, right? So we're teaching you how to not just attract men, but attracting the exact type of man that you want,
Yeah.
first of all, right? And then you're dating them and you're rotationally dating. And then it's knowing how to communicate with them,
Hmm.
and then it's knowing how to go from casual to commitment,
Yes.
right? And in a certain timeline,
Yeah.
and how to stay detached so you're not stressed out in this whole dating process.
Yes.
It gets to be fun, it gets to be light, right? And so these are the women that are attracting these types of guys that are now engaged and married. So
Yes.
I believe, ladies, the reason why we show up on here is because I know what it feels like to be on the other side, and I know what it is that you need, especially if you're a single
Yeah.
mom, because you don't have to live this life where you're burnt out and you're exhausted and you're dealing with situationships or guys that are really interested at the beginning and then they fall away,
Yes.
right? Or you don't want to date in your city, you want to learn how to date other cities with other types of guys. I understand what that feels like.
Mm.
Most people don't want to go on dating apps. I understand that. That was me. Okay. I understand what that feels like. And this is why I love making it so easy for you ladies. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a comment. A lady said the part about not being triggered is triggering me because there are men who purposely try to chip at women's confidence.
Okay.
I let them know immediately, and I don't tolerate it. Tolerate it.
Okay, so that's a woman in her wounded
Yeah.
energy. Because if a man, first of all, if you're attracting men that are trying to humble you
Right.
or chip at your confidence, you're around toxic men.
Yeah.
Because no health with wounded men, period. Right. And then the other thing, even if a man says something to you that's triggering, you having to try to convince him
Yeah.
and, put him in his place, that's you and your energy and in your wounded energy versus just walking away.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
best thing in those situations where you don't feel safe or comfortable,
Yeah.
it's not about you stepping up and, let me show him,
Yeah.
or, I just want him to feel the hurt I felt, or whatever that is. You just want to leave that situation as quickly as possible, because like we always tell the kids, you can't argue by yourself. So if he's,
Oh, that's good.
right.
Yeah.
So if you feel like,
Yeah.
that he's treating you a certain way or saying things to you, let him talk to himself. Let him say all these things to himself, and now he's up there. He looks crazy doing it. But if you're going back and forth, like
Mhm.
my father always said, now it's two fools talking. So you want to
Mm,
step away
so
from that
good.
situation if it's not what you want. And it's another thing is, it's not feeling obligated to
Mhm.
have conversations with
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
to go on, to let them off easy, to
Yeah.
make them feel good. I don't want to leave this conversation, if they don't feel right. Your job isn't to try to massage their feelings.
Mhm.
Your job is to work off your love list, have your negotiables and non-negotiables, and then exit stage right quietly if it doesn't work out.
Mhm. Exactly. No, well said, honey.
Yes. So, quick question: how do you encourage people to get married or engaged within a few months, but it really takes like 9 months to a year to get to know someone?
Mm.
So, as a woman, you don't encourage in a sense of, it's not a conversation. You don't talk
Mhm.
about, okay, you have to marry me within 6 to 9 months. No, you have your love list. You write down what your desires are, and then you position yourself until your match finds you. Anything outside of that, now you can have conversations about, when you're dating someone that you see potential with, and you've had exclusivity talks and things like that. You can have conversations about what you're doing within your timelines, like
Mhm.
you're getting married within the next year, but you can never convince you. Let me say this: you never want to convince a man. You can probably convince a man to marry you, but you never want to convince a man to chase you.
Mhm.
That never works out, because he's going to be half chasing you. He's going to be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He's going
Mhm.
to make it look like he's chasing you, but he's going to do everything else, or he's going to chase you. And now you're in a relationship where you're the one that's in control. You're kind of telling him what to do, how to do it, when to do it. So if you have to convince a man to want to marry you within any timeline, then you're in the wrong relationship.
Yeah. And also, you had talked about this before that a man that's actually ready, not all men, but a man that's actually ready, he's healthy, he's healed,
Hmm.
he knows within, the first few
Yes,
months
yes,
if you're the one for him.
yeah. I always
Right?
talk
So
about
so
that.
that's what we were talking about, where you're showing up healed, you've done your inner work, you're not just coming out of a situationship
Right,
or out of a divorce or anything like that, and he's not just coming out of a relationship and we're telling them,
right.
get married right away. No, we're talking about people that have done the inner work, have done the inner healing, and you're attracting men that are healed and are ready for marriage. And typically in our experience
Yeah,
coaching so many people, they know within the first few months. Now,
yeah,
whether you decide to get married,
that's on you.
in the first year, that's up to you. But we also teach our women, like, you don't got time to waste.
Hmm.
Not to say you need to rush into a relationship. We do not encourage that. But you, as a woman, if you want to have kids or you just want to, you don't want to use up your youthful
Right.
years wasting your time in a situationship, then you need to be more decisive on who you date and how long you give your time to certain people.
And when you're healed and have the tools, it's so much easier to see. It's
Yes.
like the blinders are taken off as a
Yes.
woman when you have the tools. And we see it so much with the ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. And understand this: most healthy masculine energy men, within the first 3 to 6 months, and sometimes even before that, they'll want to start planning a wedding, want to let you know they want to marry you. Some of them even get married within that time frame. But like with us, when we started dating for marriage, we talked about, I talked about what my timeline was. She talked about what her timeline was, and they happened to match.
Yeah.
So when they matched, it wasn't like, okay, I'm going to propose to you now. No, we got to know each other. And within the first 8 months, I think on the eighth month, I proposed to her. 3 months later, we were married,
Mhm.
and we both had timelines. So
Mhm.
I think I was probably about 4 months, and that would have been it.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to move forward with marriage within a year's time, but I wanted to do it as well. So it made it super easy, super
Mhm.
simple. It wasn't complicated.
Mhm.
It's not like, okay, it's random when you got to hope,
Yeah.
God drop somebody out the sky.
Yeah.
No, when you have tools, when you're strategic with it,
Mhm.
it seems like, riding a bike. It
Yeah.
seems so easy. It's just once you relax and detach from certain men, detach from, okay, it has to happen this way. I
Yeah.
only date men that I see in person. I don't date men that's online or whatever you're saying, whatever story you're telling yourself. You have to detach from all the stories and align yourself up
Mhm.
with what you desire and be open to it happening in different ways.
And I invite you, if you feel like marriage feels scary or committed relationships feel scary, but especially marriage, if that feels scary for you, then I encourage you to get healing in that area because that's a wound, that's a love block, and it will show up in your dating life. It'll
Mm,
show up with the type of men you attract, and it will show up in your dating life. And that is a big part of the things that I
yeah.
heal in the women with the Women in the Feminine Energy Academy because it's in your nervous system
Mm,
where you don't feel safe. Marriage doesn't feel safe. And it could be because of past trauma. I mean, it is because of a past trauma. You don't feel
yeah.
like that for no reason. So that trust has been broken with the masculine. So it could have been from a previous marriage. It could have been from what you saw your parents do. It could be from another man, situationship, whatever. But you gotta feel safe with the masculine. Not all masculine men, but you need to actually
Yeah.
familiarize what healthy masculine provider type energy feels like in your nervous system. You got to normalize that bit. It's a big part of what I do. Otherwise, even you will attract men, and I've seen this so often with women I coach, they'll attract men, but then they don't want to go to that marriage
Mm,
stage because it feels scary because of the trauma that they've been through.
yeah.
So they got to heal that. Okay. So, anyway,
So
yeah.
definitely this Saturday we're doing a master class.
Yes.
Make sure you jump in right now. It's a free 7-day trial, so you have access to that, all the replays as
Hmm.
well. Any questions we didn't get to,
Hmm.
jump into the Feminine Energy Academy. You can direct message us, let us know what
Yes.
you're there for. We'll walk you through. We'll answer your questions. Even if you're watching the replay, jump in, and we'll make sure we get back to you.
Yeah, when you're in there, just let me know what you're there for. Tell me your story. Private message me, tell me your story. This is your safe place. There's no judgment there. And let me know what you're calling in. Let me know the type of husband you're calling in and different areas of your life that you're needing help with. And if you want help with your dating profile and just dating online, and we will get you started right away. Love you, ladies.